नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ॐ 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 नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
Hare Krishna. We began the 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita in the previous session, and this chapter describes the divine and demoniac qualities. In the first 3 shlokas of this chapter, Krishna described divine qualities, Daivi Prakriti, the people who have divine nature, the Daivi Sampada. There are 26 qualities of people who have divine nature. And later from 4th shloka till 9th shloka, Krishna described the demoniac qualities, Asuri Sampada. What are they? 6. Dambho Darpo Abhimanasya Krodha Parushyam Evacha Ajnanam Chabhijatasya Partha Sampadam Asuri. So Asuras have these 6 qualities. And Krishna, when he said about these 6 qualities of demoniac people, Arjuna had a doubt. Now I am fighting, I am going to kill people, I am going to be little harsh and strict with people. Am I having demoniac qualities? Then Krishna says, no. You are born of divine qualities. You don't have any demoniac qualities. I will further elaborate what a demon is. What are the other activities and qualities of demons, and what are the further consequences of their demoniac activities. So then Krishna began elaborating on these demoniac qualities. In the 10th shloka, from 10th shloka till 20th shloka, Krishna describes the activities of demoniac people and the results of those activities. 10th shloka. Kamamashritya dushpuram dambhamanamadhanvitaha mohat grihitva sadgrahan pravartante ashuchivrataha kamam ashritya dushpuram. Okay. Kamam is lust or intense material desire to achieve something. Kamam ashritya, they take shelter of this intense lust. And dushpuram, dushpuram means that kama that they have can never be fulfilled. Insatiable lust. Okay. So taking shelter of insatiable lust or insatiable thirst for enjoyment, these demons conduct their activities. And dambha mana madanvitaha, they are very proud, they have a lot of dambha. Mana, false prestige. Madanvitaha, they are so intoxicated. They have great excessive pride, conceit. Okay. Mohat grihitva asadgrahan. Mohat grihitva means they are illusioned. They are subjected to illusion. Attracted by the impermanent. Asadgrahan means, asad means that which is impermanent or that which is false or unworthy. Asadgraha, they accept something which is impermanent. They are attached to impermanent matter. Okay. Pravartante ashuchivrataha. So this is how the demoniac people conduct themselves. They are called ashuchivrataha. Ashuchi. Shuchi is cleanliness. Ashuchi means unclean, being unclean. Ashuchivrataha means they accept a lot of unclean vows. Even though they take vows, vrataha, they do vrata, but they are all unclean. For example, there are dacoits. The 5th chapter, 5th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, we know some dacoits are there. They kidnapped Jadabharat and they wanted to sacrifice Jadabharat in front of the deity of goddess Kali. But that's a Swavidhana. They have concocted that ritual. They were believing that if we kill this man animal, Jadabharat, we will get some powers so that we can steal better. Okay. They concocted a ritual. So Mother Kali, who is also a Vaishnavi, she did not approve what they are doing. As soon as the head priest amongst these dacoits lifted his sword to cut the head of Jadabharat, immediately the deity of goddess Kali broke broke apart, and Kali came out of the deity and chopped off all these dacoits. See, the goddess who was being worshipped by these dacoits killed them. Why? That is Ashuchi Vrata. That is an unclean vow. They are doing some ritual, some puja with a malicious intent, and that involved violence towards an innocent person. He is not just an innocent person. Jadabharat was an exalted Mahabhagavad devotee. That they didn't know. So demoniac people, they can do anything unclean to fulfill their selfish intentions, because their lust or their intense longing for material enjoyment is insatiable. Okay, it can never be satisfied. That is the nature of demons. So Prabhupada writes, the demoniac mentality is described here. The demons have no satiation for their lust. They will go on increasing and increasing their insatiable desires for material enjoyment. Although they are full of anxieties on account of accepting non-permanent things, they still continue to engage in their activities out of illusion. So we will come to the 11th shloka. 11th shloka describes the attitude of the demons, and 12th shloka describes their engagement. Okay. So 10th shloka described the conduct of the demons, all their tendencies. Now we will come to 11th shloka. Chintam aparimeyam cha pralayantam upashritaha kamopabhoga parama etavad iti nishchitaha ashapasha shatair baddhaha kamakrodha prayanata ihante kama bhogartham anyayena artha sanchayan chintam aparimeyam cha. Chinta is anxiety, fear. Okay. Aparimeyam cha, immeasurable chinta they have. They are constantly doing chinta, not chintan. Chintan is contemplation, reflection. Chinta is anxiety. So they don't do chintan, they do chinta. And how much chinta they have? Chintam aparimeyam tam. Immeasurable anxiety they take. Okay. For what? Pralayantam upashritaha kamopabhoga parama. Kama upabhoga. Just to enjoy their lusty desires. Parama. They consider enjoying lusty desires to be their prime goal in life. Okay. So believing in the ultimate goal of gratifying their senses, kamopabhoga parama, they take unlimited anxieties. How long? For 1 year, 2 years, 10 years? See, pralayantam upashritaha. Pralayantam means till the end of their life they will continue to take anxieties. So throughout the life, these demoniac people take lot of anxiety to fulfill their material desires. Fine. This is the meaning of the shloka. That is their attitude. So fulfilling sense gratificatory desires is the prime goal of their life. Next. Let's discuss the 12th shloka. So these two are presented together. Asha pasha shatair baddhaha. Asha is what? Hope or desire, longing. Asha pasha. Pasha means rope or bondage. Asha pasha means whenever you have a material desire, that material desire creates bondage. So being bound by so many material desires, asha pasha shatair. Shatair means hundreds of material desires. Bound by hundreds of ropes of material desires, kama krodha parayana. We know Narayana parayana. We know Krishna parayana. We know Vasudeva parayana. Means they are so dedicated to Narayana or Krishna or Vasudeva. This is kama krodha parayana. They are so captivated by kama, lust, and krodha, means anger. So whenever kama is unfulfilled, there is krodha. So always situated in the mentality of lust and anger, absorbed in lust and anger. Ihante kama bhogartham anya yenartha sanchayan. So they secure money by even illegal means also, just for sense gratification. Kama bhogartham. Kama is lust, bhoga is enjoying. To enjoy their lusty desires, they can earn money and their livelihood even by illegal means. So this is how materialistic people are demoniac to destroy their lives. So, the demoniac accept that the enjoyment of senses is the ultimate goal of life. The demoniac person who has no faith in God or the super soul within himself performs all kinds of sinful activities simply for sense gratification. He does not know that there is witness. So there is no fear of committing sin because there is no faith in God. If there is faith in God, there is fear of punishment from God when you do some mistake. Okay. If there is no belief, there is no faith in the existence of some higher power, superior powers, okay, God or different devatas. If there is no faith only, nobody is observing me, I can do anything I want. What exactly do you do? Whatever your senses are desiring. So now lower animals, they just follow their sensual urges. They don't have discrimination. Lower animals like pigs or hogs, the dogs or whatever. So they can even engage in sensual gratification even with their sisters or even with their mothers or whoever. Okay. So in the lower animal species, that kind of discrimination is not very much seen often. Okay. Monkeys and all this, pigeons. So now you see, because they are just following their sensual urge. If a human being also simply follows one's sensual urges and conducts all one's activities, then that only indicates that they have no faith in some higher power. They are given greater intelligence with which they can discriminate between what is good, what is bad, and that they should also be fearful of some higher power. Just like a citizen is there in a country, in a kingdom, he cannot behave whimsically the way he wants. There are some governmental laws who are guarding the citizens. These laws are not applicable to birds or animals, reptiles, fish and all that. You can't implement government laws in human society, in non-human society. They are there only for human beings. Means human beings are meant to abide by some superior powers. So when that subordination to superior powers is not there, that only indicates their faith, lack of faith, and they will just follow their sensual urges. Okay. They have no fear of sinful reactions. He does not know that there is witness sitting within his heart. The super soul is observing the activities of individual soul, and accordingly super soul will send a message to Yamaraj. These are the sinful activities that this person has done. Throw him in so and so hell. Do the needful. For the rectification, for the reformation of his mentality. Punishment also is given by God only to reform the mentality of people, not to take revenge on them. So coming to the next shloka. The laws of nature do not allow a second beyond what one is destined to enjoy. Not acknowledging that there is witness or super soul within the heart, such fools feel free to do anything for sense enjoyment regardless of the consequences. Nevertheless, there are consequences. Now what is their thought process? What thought process will actually drive them to commit all kinds of sinful or illegal activities for sense gratification? Krishna describes in 3 shlokas, 13, 14 and 15. He says, Imamadya maya labdham imam prapsye manoratham idam astidam api me bhavishyati punardhanam asau maya hatah shatrur manishye chaparan api ishvaroham aham bhogi siddhoham balavan sukhi adhyobhi janavan asmi kunyosti sadrisho maya yakshe dasyami modishya ityajnana vimohitah. So these are the 3 shlokas that present the thoughts of demoniac people when they gain wealth. They think, I gained lot of wealth today. Idam adya maya labdham. Adya means today I have gained a lot of wealth. Imam prapsya manoratham. Manoratha, my heartfelt desire is completely satisfied. Imam astidam apime bhavishyanti punardhanam. I will gain more and more money also as per my desires. Okay. And he says, asau maya hataha shatrur. Shatru means enemy. Hata means killing. I have killed all my enemies. Or I have killed so and so enemy. This enemy I have killed. And hanishyacha aparanapi. I will kill other enemies also. Okay. Then Ishwaroham aham bhogi. Ishwaro aham. I am the controller. Aham bhogi. I am the enjoyer. Who is the enjoyer? Krishna is the enjoyer. Who is the Ishvara? Krishna is the Ishvara. But they think they are Ishvaras. They are bhogis. Okay. Next. Siddhoham. I am very perfect. Very powerful. Balavan. I am very powerful. Very strong. Sukhi. I am very happy. These are the thoughts of demoniac people. Adhyo. Abhijanavan asmi. I am the richest and the highborn. And ko anyo asti sadrisho maya. Right? Who else is there? No one is as powerful as me. These are their proud thoughts. No one is as happy as me. I shall perform sacrifices, give some charity, and then rejoice. Yakshe dasyami modishya. They also plan to do some sacrifices just to prove their superiority over other people by giving them charity. And they even do sacrifices with some malicious intents also. Iti ajnana vimohitaha. In this way, materialistic people or demoniac people are bewildered by ajnana. Ajnana mohitaha. So these are the selfish thoughts, overconfident thoughts. Next, 16th sloka. Aneka chitta vibhranta.
Aneka chitta vibhranta.
Moha jala samavrita.
Moha jala samavritaha.
Prasaktaha kama bhogeshu.
Prasaktaha kama bhogeshu.
Patanti narakeshu chau.
Patanti narakeshu chau.
Aneka chitta vibhranta. Aneka means unlimited. Chitta vibhranta. They take unlimited anxieties and they are bewildered by those anxieties. Okay. And moha jala samavritaha. Moha. They are completely perplexed. Illusion. Jala means network of illusion. Moha jala samavritaha. They are surrounded by such networks. Then now we have network, internet network or whatever. We have other networks. Okay. So that could also be jala for us if we don't have the right discrimination to use them for proper purposes. Okay. Anything in this material world could be degrading our consciousness, or if we have the intelligence, proper intelligence to utilize them in right ways, prescribed ways, they can elevate our consciousness also. Fine. Next. Prasaktaha kama bhogeshu patanti narake ashuchau. So prasakta kama bhogeshu means they become strongly attached to sense enjoyment. And patanti narake ashuchau. They can even degrade themselves to hell. And hell, narake, ashuchau word is specifically used by Krishna. Very unclean hell. Hell itself is unclean. But amongst hells also, there are some specific hellish planets like Vaitarini. Means a hellish place, Vaitarini, which is filled with blood and pus and urine. So like that. So demoniac people have to end up in this kind of destinations. The demoniac man knows no limit to his desire to acquire money. That is unlimited. He thinks only of how much assessment he has just now and schemes to engage that stock of wealth further and further. For that reason, he does not hesitate to act in any sinful way and so deals in the black market for illegal gratification. So further Prabhupada describes, and he takes the modern context also into this purport. Although the demoniac person sees others equally rich and influential, or even more so, he thinks that no one is richer than he and that no one is more influential than he. Sometimes there is a false confidence. Someone who is very great and influential and powerful and wealthy, they may be proud of their wealth. Someone who is not that wealthy, not that great, they also could be so bewildered that they artificially think that they are greater than other people. They are greater than people greater than them. They think like that. I am greater than that person. He is greater than you. That is definitely there. No. See, can he do this? I am doing this. They will find some reason or the other to think that they are superior than others. Right? Or if in all respect the other person is superior, then they start trying to pull him down. They may envy that person. They want to plan and conspire and pull him down completely. Envy is there. You see, all the wives of Chitraketu poisoned that baby. You know that 6th canto episode, right? So Chitraketu had 1 crore wives. Only one wife could give birth to a baby. And other wives, they became very envious and they poisoned this baby. What did the baby do? Problem is, they envied the high position of Kritadyuti. Kritadyuti became mother and we did not become mothers. How can she have a child? So they can consider this child as her child, their child also. They can also show some affection. But they killed the child. I don't have babies. They should also not have babies. That is envy. So envy, pride, greed, these are the tendencies or personality traits of demoniac people. That is because of moha jala. As Krishna says in this shloka, moha jala, they are immersed in a network of illusions. 17th shloka. आत्मसंभाविताः स्तब्धाः धनमानमदान्विताः यजन्ते नाम यज्ञैस्ते दम्भेनावधिपूर्वकम् So आत्मसंभाविताः स्तब्धा. Atmasambhavita means they are self-complacent. Okay. And stabdha, very impudent, very stubborn, so proud. Next, dhanamana madanvitaha. Dhana is wealth, mana is false prestige. Madanvita means they are intoxicated by their wealth and their false position, the respect that they receive. They are intoxicated by it. Next, yajante nama yajnaisti. They proudly do sacrifices only in name. Here Nama Yajna is not Harinam Yajna. Okay. Nama Yajna means Yajna for namesake. Just in the name only they perform some sacrifices. They also do some sacrifices, karmakandic sacrifices, just to show off. Just in the name only. Ultimately sacrifice is what? Sacrifice is an activity meant to please Supreme Lord Vishnu. Yajnarthat karmanon yatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha. You know that shloka, right? 3rd canto, 3rd chapter, 9th shloka. So Yajna is meant to please the Lord of Yajna. Who is Lord of Yajna? Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna. He is Yagneshwara. So, but they perform Yajna only in name. Next, Dambhena avadhipurvakam, without following any scriptural rules or regulations. Dambhena, out of pride, out of vanity, without following avidhipurvakam, without following any rules and regulations, out of pride they perform sacrifices. Fine. That is 17th sloka. So thinking themselves all in all, not caring for any authority or scripture, the demoniac sometimes perform so-called religious or sacrificial rites. And since they do not believe in authority, they are very impudent. So you are not accepting the scriptural authority. For you to perform some yajna, that yajna has to be prescribed in some scripture. And you neglected scripture and you are performing so-called yajna. Nama yajna. Means naam ke liye. Just for the sake of performing yajna, you are, just for name's sake, you are performing it. Right? So they make a show of performing sacrifices, or they worship the demigods, or manufacture their own god. Common men advertise them as God and worship them. And by the foolish, they are considered advanced in principles of religion or in principles of spiritual knowledge. So sometimes they call themselves God also. Vena is there, he was so proud. He was telling all the people, you perform all your yajnas for my pleasure. I am the Supreme Lord for you. I am the personification of all demigods for you. I am God. Like an unchaste woman, you are worshipping some other devatas. I am the personification of all devatas. You are supposed to worship me. This is how Vena was instructing all the Brahmanas. This is demoniac nature. To consider oneself God is nowhere justified. It's not logical in any way. How can an ordinary human being consider oneself to be God? He may be godly if he has divine qualities. In the beginning of this chapter we have seen, right? Godly qualities, divine qualities, abhayam, sattvasham, shuddhir and all that. So if one has qualities like that, godly qualities, but he cannot be God. 18th shloka. Ahankaram balam darpam
अहङ्कारं बलं दर्पं
kamam krodham cha samshritah
कामं क्रोधं च संश्रितः
mamatma paradeheshu
मामात्मपरदेहेषु
pradvishanto bhayasuchikah.
प्रद्विषन्तो भयसूचिका
Ahankaram, balam, darpam. Ahankara is false ego. Bala is strength. Darpa is pride. Next is kamam, lust. Krodham, anger. Cha samshritaha. They are bewildered by all these qualities. They take shelter of all these qualities and they are thoroughly bewildered. Ahankaram, balam, darpam, kamam, krodham. All these things. Next, mam atma paradeheshu pradvishanto abhayasuchikaha. Abhyasuchikaha. They become envious of me. Mam means Krishna is indicating himself. They become envious of Krishna also. Because although Krishna is situated right within their hearts, they are so demoniac, they envy Krishna also. Okay. They become envious of me who is situated in their own bodies and in the bodies of others. And they blaspheme against the real religion. Okay. Pradvishanto, they blaspheme real religion. These are the further results of demoniac qualities. So how will the people manifest their demoniac tendencies in their envy towards the Lord and His devotees and people in general? A demoniac person, being always against God's supremacy, does not like to believe in scriptures. He is envious of both the scriptures and the existence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is caused by his so-called prestige and his accumulation of wealth and strength. He does not know that the present life is a preparation for the next life. Not knowing this, he is actually envious of his own self. Envy is basically self-envy. If you envy another person, it's actually you're envying yourself. How is it? Because before you cause any harm to the other person out of your envy, you lost your mental peace. Just by holding that grudge or jealousy or envy within your heart, you yourself are dissatisfied. Okay. You lose your peace. You lose your balance. So first you cause a damage to yourself. Whether you will be able to cause any harm to other person or not, you have already caused harm to you by allowing this degraded quality of envy to enter you and overwhelm you and take you to destructive action. Envy is actually self-envy. He thinks himself independent and powerful in every action. He thinks that since no one can equal him in strength, power or wealth, actually Krishna is asamordha. And these demoniac people think that they are also asamordha. No one can equal me in my wealth and strength. There's a lot of arrogance and adamant nature and pride in what they have. Next sloka. What will be Krishna's treatment to such demoniac people? How does he treat them? Krishna describes in 2 shlokas, 19th shloka and 20th shloka. Tanaham dushatah kruran samsareshu naradhaman kshipam yajasram ashubhan asurishveva yonishu tanaham dushatah kruran. Krishna will perpetually throw such envious and demoniac people, cruel people, samsareshu naradhaman. They are the most adhama, lowest amongst all the people in this material world. What does Krishna do? Kshipami ajasram ashubhan asuri vesha eva yonishu. He perpetually casts such people into the ocean of material existence, into various demoniac species of life. Asuri yoni means demoniac species. Earlier, they were having demoniac qualities, even as human beings. because of maintaining such demoniac qualities even in human bodies, they will get demoniac bodies only. They will have a demoniac birth only completely. Asuri eva yonishu. Okay. They will enter demoniac species of life. Then their own nature, which is enhanced by their physical structure also, demoniac structure also, that will lead them to creating so many destructive activities. So in this sloka, Krishna says, in this verse it is clearly indicated that the placing of particular individual soul in a particular body is the prerogative of the Supreme Will. Krishna has the ability and the authority to place any living entity in any kinds of species according to what they deserve. If you are maintaining demoniac qualities, you are envious, lusty, greedy, proud, you are having all these qualities of dambha, darpa, abhimana, parushyam, krodham, etc., then Krishna will design, okay, you have demoniac qualities, better you accept a demon body. You become a demon. Let body also suit your quality. How can you maintain these negative qualities in a simple body? Better you take demoniac body. Somebody is eating a lot of meat. Krishna says, as human being, how much meat you can eat? That's your intense desire to eat meat. Fine, you become a tiger. You can only eat meat and be happy. So like that, a tiger body is given to him. Lion body may be given to him. Jackal body may be given to him. So like that, depending on our propensities, we only enter different life species, different species. So Prabhupada writes here, he quotes third canto. The demoniac person may not agree to accept supremacy of the Lord, and it is a fact that he may act according to his own whims, but his next birth will depend upon the decision of the Supreme Lord and not himself. You can't decide what is your next birth. In next birth I will become Indra. You can't say that. Or I will become Kuvera, the wealthiest person. You can't decide that post. Will you say, I will become president of the country, or I will become prime minister of the country? You should have the necessary qualification for it, and somebody will decide it. So the third canto says that an individual soul after his death is put into the womb of a mother, where he gets a particular type of body under the supervision of superior power. Therefore, in the material existence, we find so many species of life, animals, insects, men, and so on. All are arranged by superior power. So, karmana daivanitrena. 20th sloka. Asurim yonimapanna mudha janmani mam aprapyaiva kaunteya tato yanti adhamam gatim. That 19th sloka, Krishna said that I will throw them into demoniac species. The 20th sloka he is saying, Asurim yonim apanna, having entered this demoniac species, mudha janmani, that person will perpetually continue in those species, life after life, birth after birth. Mam aprapyaiva kaunteya, they can never approach me. Oh son of Kunti, they can never approach me, because once the degradation happens because of cultivating demoniac qualities and you enter demoniac species, for a person who has entered the demoniac species to come out of that devolution and then again come back to human life and then practice bhakti yoga is extremely difficult. It all begins with a slight degree of deviation. Now you are going in this direction, you are supposed to go in this direction, okay, like this. You just took slight deviation. It may be 1 degree or 2 degree only, not more. You have not taken 180 degree. You have not taken 45 degree. Just you took 1 degree like this. And then you started moving like this, and then after you move in the direction, your goal is missed totally. You will go in a different direction, you will end up. Okay? You are supposed to go like this, and because you took a diversion like this, you went in another direction. From there you may take another diversion. Like that you may go somewhere else. So all deviations begin with a slight deviation. Major deviations begin with slight deviation. Only slightly, no problem. Yeah, only slight. But if you continue on that slight deviation and you never come back, then you will continue only. Fine. So that's why a devotee carefully tries to avoid even slightest possible distractions as much as possible. Of course, this material world is filled with distractions. We need to pray constantly, but we need to, apart from prayer, we need to also personally endeavor to our best to avoid all distractions. Asurim yonim apanna modha janmani janmani. So once you enter asuri species, there is a very good possibility that again and again you can take birth in such demoniac species. Janmani janmani. Krishna says this. I am not saying. Okay. Retaining repeated birth amongst the demonic species, what will happen? Mudha. They are fools. Mam aprapyaiva kaunteya. They will never attain Krishna. Krishna says if you perform bhakti yoga, you will attain me. So many times he said in Bhagavad Gita. But if you develop demoniac qualities, you will never attain me. Krishna says. Tato yanti adhamam gatim. Gradually they sink down to the lowest statuses of life. This is very dangerous. To degrade into low species of life and lower tendencies is very painful. Once Krishna gives you an opportunity to take some fortunate position of rendering service to him, if you reject it, and then because of sense gratificatory desires or demoniac qualities, if you just reject that opportunity and then deviate into demoniac species, we don't know when will we get that opportunity again. Okay. So that's why one should be very diligent and careful enough not to waste this opportunity of human life and not waste this opportunity of coming in contact with devotees. Because we need to take the process of Bhakti Yoga very seriously. Somehow we ended up in association of devotees by some grace of some devotees. So let's stick to this association. Let us not deviate from this association. Fine. So the placing of a particular soul in a particular body is the prerogative of the Supreme Will. Those who have asuric mentality will continue to be asuras life after life. Most probably, unless some great Vaishnava shows them some special mercy and uplifts them from that condition. Okay. Thank you. We completed this section 10 to 20, the activities of demoniac people and the consequences of those activities. In the next session, we will complete the remaining shlokas and complete the chapter. Hare Krishna.